Hi, I'm Sarah Hebert, and I'm a librarian at NHTI. Today we are going to be looking at resources for biology students. Now, as you move through the class, remember, research is my specialty, and I am here to help you. Here we are on the NHTI homepage. To get to the library's resources, we come over here to Student Support and Success, and then from there we go to Library. A few things to show you on the library's website. The first one is Quick Search. Now, if you have taken other classes here at NHTI, you may have used Quick Search. It will allow you to look at resources from the entire NHTI collection. For this class, though, I'm going to point out another tool for you that I think will be more helpful because it specifically looks at science resources. Also on this website, I want to point out to you the chat box. Now, this chat box is available when the library is open. If you type in your inquiry, you will immediately get a response from one of our staff members. Also here we have a link to all of the library's databases, the library's catalog, and the research guides. And that's what we're going to look at today. So we'll click on Research Guides. And then from there we will click on LibGuides, which brings us to this list here of different types of research guides. And we're going to look at STEM. And then from there, we're going to scroll down to biology. Now, the reason I'm taking you to this LibGuide is because it allows me to show you one place where we have isolated biology resources so that instead of having to go through every single database that the library subscribes to, you can look at a list that's specifically curated for you that only has science databases. And from here, you will see several different choices. There's one specific to biology called Biological Science Database. We also subscribe to Science, another one called Science, Environment Complete, which is an environmental database, as is Greenfile. And then if you are looking at something specific to birds, you might want to look at Birds of North America. So to begin with, we're going to do a search in Science right here. Now, if you are off campus, it's going to ask you to log in. Your login is the exact same login that you use for Canvas and your student email. Great, that brings us into our database. And from here, we would do a search on whatever we are researching. So for instance, if I wanted to look up cellular respiration, I can put that in. And I see that there are 27 different articles on that. Now, depending on your topic, you may want to come down and look at the publication date. You can see that these are all very, very recent. They're between 2000 and 2020. However, sometimes in databases, you may see articles that are from the 1800s or the early 1900s. And depending on your topic, that may be too old. In that case, you would want to change this date so that you only get the most recent things. Now, a couple things to look at here. This first one is in PDF full text. So if I click on that, it's going to bring me to the article, just like if I had the journal in front of me. I can see some great illustrations. The entire article is here. The second result down, though, says that it's request through full text through interlibrary loan. Now, what that means is that the library at NHTI doesn't have access to it in full text, but we can ask another library to send it to us. So if this were an article that you really, really wanted, fill out this form, and then we will send that request out for you. Now, it can take about a week to get an article back, so make sure that you have enough time planned out in your research so that if your paper is due in the next day or two, this is probably not the best option for you. Back here though, if we want to look at an article that is in full text, here's our title. Down here it tells us that it is from Marine Biology. It also lists all of the authors up here. It's from 2012. Here's all the information that I need for my references page. And then down here we have the abstract. So the abstract will give you a summary of the article. That can be helpful so that you don't read the entire 8-page article and then realize it doesn't have too much to do with your topic. So I'd read through that first. Now, one thing that can be a little bit confusing in these databases is that the full text is actually over here on the left-hand side. So in order to read this article, I have to come to the left and click on PDF full text. And there's my article. A few things to point out to you. You can save this to a Google Drive, you can print it, you can email it. There's also a citation tool. So if I click on this, it will give me an APA citation. Now, I do want to caution you, sometimes these have errors, so I do not recommend that you copy and paste this without double checking it. So for instance, this person, that's probably not their correct name with the @ symbol in the middle of it. So I would look at these, but make sure you're double checking them. And then the last thing I want to point out quickly is if you like to save links, don't save this link up here. That's a temporary link. Because we are in a database, it probably will not work tomorrow. So if you send that to your instructor probably will not be able to open the article. That's a temporary link. The link you want is down here with this little chain. That's called a permalink. The permalinks here will always bring you back to the article. They'll always bring your instructor to the article. So make sure you're saving those. Don't save these up here. So that's a quick look at science. Remember, you have all of these different databases to choose from. And if you can't find something in these databases, you can certainly ask me for help. We can ask other libraries to send us articles. You have a lot of different resources. Now, if you do need to contact me, which I hope you will, my contact information is over here on the left-hand side. So you can email me. You can call me. Right now I'm working remotely, so that's probably not the best way to contact me. I would contact by email. And we can meet together. We can email back and forth. We can talk on the phone. We can do a whole reference appointment through Zoom. So even though the library building is not open, you actually have access to almost all of the library's resources remotely. Don't be afraid to ask. So that's a quick overview to get you started. Please call me, email me with any questions that you have, and I will be happy to help.